It was in February 1996 when Rabbi Noach Weinberg Zatzal came to visit St. Louis, and whenever he'd come to visit St. Louis, I always tried to give him a little R&R, a little rest and relaxation. I said, Rosh Hashiva, let's go swimming. And so I called Charlie and I said, Charlie, let's take the Rosh Hashiva over to the Gatesworth and we'll swim. And while the Rosh Hashiva was in the pool doing this backstroke, he said,
Charlie, what are you going to do for the Jewish people now? I said, I don't know, Reb Noach. What you tell me. Whatever Reb Noach would tell people, they would do. He had tremendous influence on people. And he said, you know, Aish Torah needs a shul in St. Louis.
Elazar, you should start a shul. And I said, a shul, you know? And we spotted here the Chesed Shalom building.
And it was just a great edifice and a huge building, over 10,000 square feet. And I thought to myself, wow, this would really be great for the community to really energize this wonderful structure.
Charlie just knew how to do it. He knew the right people, and I think only he could speak to the powers at hand here and negotiated an amazing deal where the shul was under contract in June of 1996, and we closed August 23rd, 1996.
I just knew intrinsically that this is a makam for the community, a place where families can really grow in their Yiddishkeit.
And here we are with Shari Chesed.
It's amazing to be part of a startup shul. I think this is probably the longest running startup shul in St. Louis, probably over 100 years.
I like to go to Shara Chassan, or Yosef Shul, whatever you want to call it, because there's always a nice smile and everybody's happy to see you. And
warm and comfortable place for people to come and daven.
There's lessons that I carry and relationships that I've built here that I couldn't find anywhere else, and that have lifted me and my family and contributed tremendously to my Yiddishkeit.
And one more thing, I love the food.
The growth that we've had has been because of, in great part, because of our connection with the shul over the last 10 or 12 years. A place where we can belong, where we're trying to grow and move forward in Yiddishkeit.
Rabbi Goldson gives a shiur to men and women on Tuesday nights. It's been ongoing for many years. It's an excellent shiur on illuminating the Siddur, and he's an unbelievable teacher, and I learned so much from him. I just love it.
Rabbi Greenwald's learner service has been going on since the beginning of the shul. It's tremendously successful with many, many people attending.
Sarah and I are very happy to have Rabbi Greenwald teach a class at our house on Sunday evenings on Hilchos Brachos. We learn all about brachos, when to give brachos, which brachos to give. There's a lot of people that do come for the Sunday brachos. And we've been learning with Rabbi Greenwald for many years on this subject, as well as many others. He's a great teacher.
Rabbi Herber brings to our shul and to the Chumash shiur and to the Gemara shiur, I don't know how many decades of perfection in teaching. He's dealing with a group of men who are older men and who are breaking their teeth, learning the grammar of Gemara and the grammar of Chumash. And he's got amazing patience. Our future is tremendous. We're very excited. And I thank you all for attending tonight. And I urge you to just check out what's going on here. It's amazing.
When I first met Rabbi Tendler, I was struck by his smile. It lit up his face, it lit up the room, and it was impossible to look at him and not smile back.
I was a little upset at first that they took him away from the kollel and I didn't get to see his smiling face and his greeting to me every morning when he'd come into the kollel.
Before even considering the move, I had to make sure that unfinished business and loose ends are tied up. And one of the main loose ends for me was to make sure that there is a successor here to the Shul, a rabbi that I feel comfortable with, because I felt that the Shul was my baby. And so I approached Rabbi Tandler, or maybe it was David that approached Rabbi Tandler, and we discussed this, and it seemed that we had, really found the right match. It really was very, very comforting to me to know that I am on my way to Eretz Yisrael, and the Shul, which we had put so much effort into, would be in such competent, warm, capable, and knowledgeable hands like Rabbi Menachem Tandler.
He's a very, very energetic person. He's very vibrant, and this has really, I think, energized and revitalized the Shul.
Takes this job very seriously. Takes uplifting the congregation very seriously. Getting them to learn.
Rabbi Tandler treats everyone the same. It doesn't matter if you're 8, 14, or 50.
We are tremendously privileged to have him as our Rav. He has infused the Shul with energy.
It's obvious why everybody loves him. He is just a caring, visionary, inspirational, loving.
He's a very young man, but he's got the wisdom of the ages.
Now that I've had the wonderful opportunity and pleasure of being in the Shul and hearing his drushes, I think his drushes might even outshine his beautiful smile.
Rabbi Tandler is very good about the drasha and stuff, and he gives very good stories, but he also talks about like the meaning of the stories and always like the moral.
He has an amazing ability to take very complex concepts and articulate them in a very clear and wonderfully amusing fashion. Nathan and I now look forward to discussing the drasha when we come home from Shul.
You want to listen to him. You don't say, oh no, another speech. You're actually excited to listen to it.
I really like him when he does Pirkei Avos, because he always gives very good definitions and stories, and I really like his stories. They're very intense and beautiful and
smart. He's funny. He's approachable. He's has a good sense of humor. He has a gorgeous singing voice. He gives powerful drashas. Really everything that I would want in a Rav.
He not only has one-on-one classes with me, members of the Shul, the community, not only the adults but their children. He always has time, both here at the Shul and in his home, to learn and to teach.
The proof is that over the last 2 years, the Shul has even grown more. People love Rabbi Tandler. I think that Rabbi Tandler has been a wonderful contribution, not only to the Shul, U City Shul, but also to the entire Jewish community here in St. Louis.
When he goes down the street, from the very young to the very old, they know him, they love his family, and he's just not the rabbi. He's a deep and close friend of everyone in the community.